They killed her. And that's what I've been saying. They killed her.
Big stories tonight. Singer, actress Aaliyah is killed in a plane crash. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. A breaking story out of the Bahamas tonight. Authorities have confirmed that R&B singer and actress Aaliyah is among 8 people killed in a plane crash.
Yeah, the plane crashed as it tried to take off from the island of Abaco in the Bahamas. 9 people, all Americans, were on board that plane. 1 man survived the crash and was taken to a nearby hospital. The plane was leaving Marsh Harbor Airport around 3:50 local time when it went down.
Aaliyah and her crew had been shooting a video in the Bahamas. The plane was taking the group back to the United States when it crashed. CNN is reporting that baggage handlers said the plane was overloaded with suitcases and that the handlers and the plane's pilot complained about the heavy load. But they say passengers insisted on taking...
Aaliyah is a veteran of the music scene. At 14, her premier solo project, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, achieved platinum status with hits back and forth. And At Your Best You Are Love, which catapulted her to the top of the Miss R&B Diva list, thus paving the way for her recently released double platinum album, 1 in a Million. In today's music industry, where image is everything, Aaliyah mixes her sex appeal with a playful tomboy twist, creating a look that's all her own.
I watch a lot of the fashion shows, a lot of the runway models, and see what's the next thing happening and then intertwine that with what I'm doing. Image goes hand in hand with your music, and that's how people identify you. You know, they separate you knowing your music and knowing your style and your image. So that's why it takes me a while to put things together, especially if I'm doing a dressy thing rather than a sporty thing, because what you see here is really me, the baggy jeans and skull caps and everything. So when I'm doing a dressy thing, I've got to still remain in my image. So it takes me a while to put something really good together that still looks like Aaliyah.
Aaliyah's untimely demise changed a lot in my mind. I was angry at first. Why is she so stupid? Why would she get on that plane with all that luggage? Why she gotta be so vain? The luggage could have came later. As much money as she had. But see, what nobody really got told about that story, and it's only been mentioned in a few documentaries, is that the reason why she was in such a rush to leave the island was because someone had called her and told her that damedash had been in a nearly fatal accident, and he was on his deathbed, and she had to rush to Miami to be by his side. That's how much she loved him, that she was willing to put her life on the line for it. See, if somebody called me and told me that my husband was about to die, I would do whatever I got to do to get there. And from what I was also told from other people that was on the shoot, packing all that luggage on the plane wasn't her idea either. She was told, because the rap, the video had rapped, that all of their belongings had to leave right then, that she couldn't leave them behind, that nothing, they had to take everything with them, knowing that there was already almost 1,000 pounds worth of human on that plane, and then like 800 pounds of luggage. They said, well, if you gotta go right now, you gotta take all your stuff with you right now. And she was willing to risk it just to be with Dame. And I believe Dame, in the interview that he had done maybe 5 or 6 years ago, he said he never sent that phone call to summons her to Miami. He never had his assistant call her for any reason, and he wasn't even in Miami.
Now, a lot of people, including myself, do not believe that Aaliyah's death was not no accident, because there's just a lot of things that are not connecting. There's just a lot of things that are not making no sense. And there's even a video clip of Mary J. Blige seemingly confirming that Aaliyah was in fact unalived. But the question here is, who could have wanted her gone? In order for us to know that, we must follow the money. Who benefited a lot from the death of Aaliyah? Now, this is not to say that the people that I mentioned are the ones that are responsible for the death of Aaliyah, but they sure did benefit from her being gone, in my opinion. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
I'm assuming that the ribbon that you have is in memory of Aaliyah.
Yeah, this is my tool. You know, we put, you know, the stylist, we gave everybody ribbons, and this, I don't even know what to say. I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder, whether people know it or not, because God don't kill people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring proof. You know what I'm saying? For what I learned. And she just was cut down in the prime of her life. And it's so unfair. And it wasn't time. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I believe it wasn't her time to go, because from what I know, it ain't supposed to go down like that. And just simple obedience, like, you know, your gut always warns you. That's that your gut never lies to you. And something like luggage and clothes and jewelry and all this madness that we worship is called false idols. We need to really look at the bigger picture right now. And look at how honey could be here right now. So let's see. You understand?
There are some new developments surrounding that tragic plane crash. It turns out the pilot of that plane, Luis Morales III, was recently charged for cocaine possession and may not have been authorized to fly that plane. Morales pleaded no contest to the drug possession charge just 12 days before the crash. He was a certified pilot hired to fly the plane just 2 days before the crash, but officials with the FAA say they do not have any records authorizing him to fly the plane for the operator. The cause of the crash is still under investigation, although engine failure and overloading of cargo are two theories.
But I'll be damned, there's a lot of people that benefited from Aaliyah being gone. A lot of people made it that wouldn't have made it if Aaliyah was still around. And I'm not so big on the idea of conspiracy theories, but typically the way I see things is, if you want to know who the masterminds are behind something, all you have to see is the person who benefits the greatest. That's the person that has the most motive to make sure people get moved around, the person that has the most to gain.
Both Aaliyah and Beyonce began performing and pursuing their music careers at a very young age and had similar beginnings at showbiz. Now, with all due respect, Beyonce is Beyonce, but many fans believe that Aaliyah would have gone to have the sort of status Beyonce enjoys today. Others have gone so far as to say Beyonce would not have been Beyonce if Aaliyah was still here. Beyonce's solo career started a year after the death of Aaliyah. Fans believe Aaliyah's absence made it easy for Beyonce to slide right in as the top female R&B artist.
Barry, when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV? For $90 million for her death.
Was that just for his rights or whatever he owned?
What she would have been able to make if she hadn't died.
So 4 days before they went to the Bahamas for Aaliyah's music video shoot, her uncle and his company Blackground Records went into court and received some type of demand, some type of waiver, to where if there was anything that happened to anyone on set in the Bahamas, that they would not be responsible. Ultimately, her uncle went to the court in New York and said, hey, we've got something going on in the Bahamas. If anyone were to get hurt here, how do we protect ourselves and make sure that we can't be sued or be held liable? And ultimately they came up with this, and this was literally created 4 days before they went to the music video shoot. So it seemed like he knew that something was going to happen in the Bahamas, and didn't want his company or anyone to be held accountable. And literally, this complaint brings up the fact that, if anyone were to die, he would not be at fault. His company would have no damages sustained if someone were to pass away, which seems like a huge waiver to have. Why does his company have this power, and why did they prepare this before this shoot where the main star